going live on Christmas. It is December 25th, 2017, and I'm going live. I'm not sure how many people will join on Christmas, but I wanted to go live because I do. And what I will talk about today is this is my first Christmas living out of my car. Almost a full year now, just about at the tipping point. And so that'll be my topic today, and then as people join, we'll talk about the live comments, and I'm open to talk about anything, and we go from there. But as I was reflecting towards the end of my day here, what I wanted to share and what my topic was going to be for my live feed tonight, that's how I was thinking about, just keep it light and talk about my first Christmas, first official Christmas living in my car. Well, one is, what do you eat for Christmas when you're living out of your car? Why? Because in Florida, where I'm at now, mostly everything's closed as far as supermarkets. All the Publix were closed. Oh, D from New Hampshire's on the live comments. Hey, Sam. Hey, D. What's the weather like over there? Are you a frozen snowman or snow girl? Merry Christmas to you if you celebrate, and if you don't, respect and love anyway. But she says cold. I don't doubt that. It was in the 80s again today in Florida. It's a little cool. I mean, now I got it's 68 degrees. I got my sweatshirt on. I don't know why, but it's nighttime. Just getting cozy. A little breeze off the ocean. But so what do you eat in Florida for Christmas? I'm just sharing what you eat at first, and then I'll talk about my year reflection of living in a car. Well, one is all the Publix were closed today. Starbucks was open today. They opened at 7 and they stayed open for a little bit. But no Walmart either. In the place of Florida where I'm at, no Walmarts were open, and no Publix. So this is a Nomad tip if you ever decide to live full-time out of your car or RV. Wawa, okay? Wawa is where it's at, okay? If you want to, get something to eat in the road, if you live like me without a refrigerator and without a cooler and stuff. And I was able to get salad there. I kept it plant-based. I didn't need any meat or anything like that. I got a couple salads. And I got a Diet Coke. You know what, I like to eat that with my dinner. And I had one indulgence. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to lie. I had a whole bag of skinny popcorn. Okay. Now skinny popcorn is a healthier treat, but I ate the whole bag. Probably altogether, probably close to like 650 calories. So it was a lot. But I had a couple salads, so I figured it was Christmas. I have a little bit. D says mostly convenience stores will be open. That's right, D. Oh, Milano, I miss you, brother. Milano from Miami, and it's Class B. Milano, did you go to Wawa? Now Milano's got a refrigerator and everything. He's self-contained. Did you go to Wawa for dinner? There's no Publix open, brother. And there's no Publix open in Florida. I'm used to up north, like New Jersey, New York. Even during holidays, there's something open. But it was a beautiful day. Show enough. Love and respect to you. Do you do any camp sites or stay in the city? Well, once in a while I'll do a campsite. Other than that, I'll do Walmarts. I'll do truck stops. I'll do, if I'm in a certain area where I have a friend or family member, I'll spend a night or so in their driveway or something like that. But I don't spend more than a couple nights because I believe in healthy boundaries. But my main thing, show enough, is basically I just keep it moving. Because that's what I've learned in nomad life. If you're going to do it successfully, you just have to accept that I keep it moving. Like, I don't stay in one spot too long. Like, I do one night offs. I'm not like, but that's inside me. Like, I don't get somewhere and set up camp. I stay out all day, even on Christmas. I stay out all day at nighttime. In a couple hours when I get to go to bed, I'll go to a spot. I'll sleep, I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm out of there. Now some people, that's not their style. Like, they like to set up. Like, when I go to campgrounds, I see people and their style is like they want to set up. They want to have a barbecue outside their RV or outside their van if they tent camp. Because you could just bring a tent with you in your like back of your car, and you could just call yourself a tent camper. And but like, that's not my style. I'm a guy who likes to move. So you can do it. You just got to figure out what works for you. Thank you for the comment. Milano, I was there. Milano said Wawa is the gas station, right? Yeah, Wawa, and they have them in New Jersey too. And yeah, Wawa's the gas station 24/7, but they got a good convenience store. It's clean, and they had some fresh salads. Of course, they have the deli and stuff, but I don't really eat meats anymore. But it's cool, you know. And when I first last year when I came to Florida and I was scoping out Florida, I wasn't full timing yet. That's something I'm talking about kind of in this video. And it was like that was my first trip where I started like just seeing if I could do it. And I slept one night. I slept in a Wawa. I parked right to the side. Nobody bothered me, but I didn't have any window covers. I was sleeping my seat. I was so uncomfortable. So a year changes a lot. I'm gonna share some things with you on that. And I'm very thankful. This year's 100% better. But yeah, that Wawa is the convenience store and the gas station. Gas right now, in case you guys are wondering, in Florida, at this Wawa now, it depends like if you're in a rich part or whatever. Because I was by Boca Raton and gas was fucking like $2.79. Over here it's like $2.24. So if it depends, like everywhere else. I mean, if you're in a certain area, it's more money or whatever. But I like Boca Raton. A lot of beautiful girls today I saw in bikinis. Hey boo, it's Miss Kimberly. Hello, gorgeous. You didn't have a ugly sweater today? You kept it regular? How'd everything go at your parents' house? I was thinking about you. God bless you. It's Miss Kimberly, one of my first viewers. God bless you. D says hi to everyone. No Man's Land. NYC's in the building. Merry Christmas, Sam, everyone. Merry Christmas, brother. God bless you. Show enough. Gotcha. I loved your why video. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, show enough. So yeah, I mean, this is like, you know, for me, I'm gonna just share, you know, and then we'll just talk whatever you guys want to talk about. But oh, what's going on, Trucy? Good to see you again. Merry Christmas from Vancouver, Sammy. Love and respect you, man. God bless you. Thank you, Trucy. Yeah, Vancouver, you guys must be cold, but you're used to it. That's, you know, where you're from. But love and respect to Canada, man. Definitely in Vancouver specifically. Glam Gypsy. Hey, all, happy holidays. Hey, Glam Gypsy. Glam Gypsy, I believe from ATL. I believe from Georgia, right? Glam Gypsy. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate or what you don't. God bless. It's Miss Kimberly. Laugh up emoji. It was good. Nobody, that's all caps, had on an ugly sweater. Laugh to the side. Glad so I didn't buy one. Yeah, because I was like, when I was in Target yesterday, and it was consumer heaven in there yesterday when I was in Target. They had Christmas sweaters. Now I didn't look at all of them, but I looked at a couple. Like they were charging a grip for some of those sweaters, and I couldn't believe it. But they were getting away with it because people were buying them things up. So it's crazy. But that's hot right now. I mean, it's been hot for a couple years now, so I guess it'll go out of style soon. But I'm glad you had a good time. It's Miss Kimberly. Glam Gypsy, yes, she is from the ATL. Okay, very good. Now Glam Gypsy was gonna do the pilot, but I believe she's gonna live out of her minivan now, or she is. Milano. It's a nice gas station, not in Miami. Okay, they don't have them in Miami. When I went around away in Lakeland, yeah, no, Lakeland, yeah, a couple people died yesterday in a plane crash. Did you see that, Milano? Nice. Wawa, many coffee machines, good convenience store, that's right, to stop. Sammy, where are you now? I'm right outside of Boca Raton. So I'm going to stay around here for about probably a couple more days. And then a couple more days, I'll start heading north because I got to start making that trek back. You know what I mean? By for the new year, in the beginning of next week, I got to go back to work. So, just before dawn, what's going on, brother? Greetings, everyone. Today was also my first Christmas. Well, all right, we're going to talk about it in the van. So you can have some good feedback too. I slept at a Pilot Travel Center last night. I don't know them. I never heard of them. At 5 a.m., an employee went around the parking lot blaring the horn for 30 minutes. What's a Pilot Travel Center? I don't know what that is. Milano said, all these stores are all good. Yeah, all these stores, man, somebody was trying to tell me, like, go to all these stores, like, not for sleeping, like in the parking lot, but, like, just to shop because it was on the cheap. But they charge you to take out a cart. They nickel and dime you every way. I'm not co-signing Aldi's. I don't like Aldi's. Just my personal opinion. Glam Gypsy. Awesome at just before dawn, yes. And Glam Gypsy said a gas station. Just before dawn. Oh, it's a truck stop. That's what it is. Okay, I never heard of that truck stop. But yeah, well, one is, let me just say, how do I feel? It's not officially a year, very close now. This time last year, I had my house on the market for a couple weeks, and I was just starting to field serious offers, and I was starting to seriously set up my car for the possibility, but I wasn't sure if that's what I was going to do yet. And I had just this time last year, I was back in New Jersey. I took one trip to Florida. I saw if I could do it. I wasn't fully sure. And I was still looking at travel trailers. And I was still looking at small condos on the beach. And trying to figure out what I was going to choose. And I was looking at YouTube like crazy. Because like I always say, there was the one guy that inspired me. He was like 70-something years old, living, well, long-term camping out of his Toyota Prius. And what he said today in one of his videos, he doesn't do that anymore, but it always stuck with me. And it's a word of encouragement for me. He said, if you can, he was talking about living out of a car, but this is a life lesson. He goes, if you can do it for one, yeah, it's Rusty 78609. He voted for Trump, but shit, I don't agree with him on every part, but I do like Rusty. He's inspired me. I got to be honest with you. But it's like everybody. I'm sure people watch me. They don't like some of the shit I say. So that's a life lesson too. You don't have to agree with somebody 100%, and God can still use them. There's some people I watch like on the spiritual tip, and I know they're crooks, but I still, there's some wisdom that they talk about. So I can separate what inspires me and what doesn't. And you should do the same thing. Show Enough says, you do get the quarterback. You do get the quarterback at Aldi's? I didn't know that. Okay. When you return the cart. They are saving employee costs. I love Aldi's. Okay. I didn't know you get the quarterback. I didn't even go in. After I figured out, like, I tried to grab the shopping cart, and that shit was locked. I've been trying to figure out what the fuck. And then I saw they have a question. What the fuck? They trying to scam you. I didn't even get inside the store. Once I saw, like, you had to pay for the shopping cart, I ain't going in there. I go to Walmart. It can't be cheaper than Walmart. Is it cheaper than Walmart, sure enough? Just before dawn. Today felt weird. Nearly every business being closed. Yeah, it's a little odd. I can't wait for even Planet Fitness was shut down. At least by me, that's right. Planet Fitness to open up in the morning so I can enjoy a hot shower. I hear that. Next year, I'm just going to get me a hotel on the holidays. That's a good idea if you want. That's not a bad idea. It's Miss Kimberly. 3 laughs up emojis, yeah. And D says, I like Aldi's too. People co-sign Aldi's. And then sure enough, as co-sign, he said, hell yes. He knows what I'm talking about. So, I was just, and he says he gets a full cart of food for $80, $90. Okay. I'm not mad at it. Hey, if it works, I know a lot of people like it. I never went inside the thing, but you can't beat Walmart, though. I wouldn't think. But either way, praise the Lord. So then, like I said, the one older guy, Rusty 78609, he has like a different way of living now. Now he, out of an RV, and he pulls an RV, but he mainly uses a home base. He has a home base. He has a raw piece of land that he purchased in Texas. Shout out to Miss Kimberly in Houston, Texas. Now he's from, I think he said Kingsland, Texas. Now I don't know Texas. I've never been there. But Miss Kimberly, do you know where Kingsland, Texas is? So, that's what he does. And then he used to go long-term camping. So long story short. So he just used to always say, look, as far as living out of a car or whatever, he goes, if you can do it for one day, then you can do it for 2 days. If you can do it for 2 days, then you can do it for however long you want. And that's like a general rule of life. If once you train yourself and you're able to do something for a couple of consecutive days, what's stopping you from doing that for your entire lifetime? If it's something you want and enjoy to do. So, because again, I think no matter what it is in life, if you don't want to do something and you don't enjoy it, you're going to bitch and moan the whole way, and you're not going to find a way to make it work. I wanted not necessarily to live out of a car, but I wanted to downsize my life so I can do more things that I want and just have a mental freedom. And so the downsizing was very appealing. Living in a small space was actually appealing to me too. And, of course, I looked at the Tiny Homes TV show that they had going on House Hunters. And so I knew that was my direction. But like a lot of things in life, you don't know the entire vision. You just know you're getting pulled towards a certain direction. Something inside you is pushing you to a certain direction. And you have to refine that vision as you go. So then as I get closer and closer, in January, I signed my contract. I got the official offer on my house, signed that contract. And then, the first step was really just throwing shit out, which was very painful. And throwing out the clothes was the hardest. Because I was determined that I was getting rid of everything. Even if I I still hadn't decided if I was going to live on my car. But even if I had bought a smaller condo, I was going to buy something furnished. Like, it was only going to be like a couple hundred square feet. And I wasn't bringing shit with me. I mean, I was going to bring a bag of my clothes, like whatever, like things I have that are like close to me. But I'm not a knick-knack guy. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, I have beautiful paintings. I love, but I was like determined that I'm not going to spend much time in my house. Because for me, this time last year, living in a house was actually more depressing than living in a car this year. Why? Because I would go to a house, I would just look around, and I feel, one is I feel stuck in it. I would feel stuck in a location. I was in a nice area, but I just didn't want to be there anymore in the location. And then two is, especially after I saw Florida, after I saw that it's warm somewhere in the winter, and then just being confined like to my house with cold weather outside and not being able to go outside and having like cabin fever. And then two is I put a lot of work into, losing a lot of weight and getting my health in order. What I found was when I would be at home, like I would just, when I had nothing else to do, I would just eat. And not even because I was hungry, because what the fuck else you gonna do but eat and watch TV or even eat and watch YouTube? So I was like, man, I felt like, if I live a more mobile lifestyle, like I'm gonna be forced to be outdoors more, and I want to be like that. And so even though I just had a bag of skinny popcorn, but it's skinny popcorn, come on. So that, and then the other thing is, you have a house, you have a condo, apartment, whatever, you look around and it's just empty. And for years, I would look around at that empty house and I would want to fill it with something. I would text girls or text whoever and try to get them over to my house just because I felt like, you got a house, it's not, it's not good to be alone too much. And then when I figured I really don't want that, that's actually not what I want, and it doesn't work out the way I would think it will work out, then I said, what do I have a house for anymore? I don't want to entertain people anymore. I don't want all this extra space. I don't want to be stuck somewhere where it's like, all I could do is eat and watch TV. TV had totally stopped inspiring me. And then I was just at that point where I was getting ready to cut off the cable, and I weaned my way off entertainment. It went from cable to Netflix, and then I cut Netflix, and then it was just YouTube. Because that's the other thing. Like, I want to see how many bills can I really chop out of my life completely. I was just curious. And come to find out, I chopped all of them out except my cell phone bill. I still have a car payment and car insurance. Now, you have other things. I pay for more gas, etc. I pay for more Starbucks. But still, a lot cheaper than I was. So, then as the winter progressed, and I'd only even mentioned the idea of living in a car to a couple people. One person at work that I knew he was like he is a cool guy. I mean, it's like, I really trust this guy, good guy. And the other person was just another friend. And they both said they were taken back by it. They were taken back by it. Because nobody ever heard it. I never heard of that shit. So somebody would have told me a year, 2 years ago about living in a car, I'd say you're crazy. But either way, I do believe efficiency is going to be the new luxury. I believe, look, as far as like, you getting increased, bottom line is, I think society, it'll always be fixed houses to some extent. It will always be a level of consumerism. But as we go forward in societies, as these next generations pass, I'm telling you, efficiency is going to be the new necessity, and society will shift. There's going to be a huge shift. But anyway, that's down the road. That's my thoughts. Bottom line is, closing got cost, and I'm sure you guys see the video I made about living in my car. As my closing got cost, I couldn't find a house. Then I made the full commitment to saying, fuck it. This is what I said fuck it to. And I see a couple comments I'm backlogged on. I want to get to them. I just want to finish my one thought here. So then when I got close to closing, I said, well, I don't want to buy another house right now because I'm at this time window in life. When else, I'm in my middle age, I'm 37, when else am I going to have the opportunity to try if this works? Because if I buy another small condo now, I'm going to be locked in again. I'm going to get married again to another property. And I really didn't want to rent, because either you're locked into a lease, even if you do month for month, it's a whole process. And I just said, fuck it. I mean, let me try it. I said, look, these other guys are doing it. I could do it. And I always had a little bit like a survival in me. Like, I know I could survive. I can adapt. And if I don't like something, I know how to make things happen. So the bottom line is, I said, now's the time to give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, then I'll just back out of it. I still have a job and all that. I'll buy a house or I'll rent a car, I'll do whatever. And so you have to make a mental note in your mind. I mean, are you in a certain time window? It doesn't have to be living in a car, but to try something in your life that you want to do. Because, there are going to be other opportunities in life, but there's specific time windows that you have to seize the moment to try something that is a desire of yours. Like in Florida here, a little bit north, that's where they launched the missiles to the first exploration of the moon for America. And what you find is they only launch those missiles in certain time periods of the day. Because the way the Earth rotates and how the atmosphere is and everything, those missiles have to be in a time window for them to have the optimal level of success. And that's what life is, time windows. You have certain time windows in life to launch off to whatever it is of your dream. And you need to be mindful of those time windows. And you need to seize that moment. So that being said, and failure is part of success. Don't be scared of failure. You're going to fail. There's plenty of rockets that tried to get to the moon. They failed. Okay, that's part of life. No way around that. Okay. And then so I took off. Now I weaned myself into full timing. What does that mean? Well, I had all my shit in my car. And what I did the first few weeks was I would drive from my job at the end of the day a couple hours down to South Jersey, and I would stay with a relative. Well, I wouldn't stay with them, but I would, go to their driveway or something like that, somewhere where I was familiar with somebody's property that I knew that I could camp out on. Did that for a couple days, but I didn't like that I don't have my boundaries. And then so I just tried to do like rest stops and et cetera, et cetera. And then sure enough, you just build up your confidence. And then you realize in life that, look, for the most part, yeah, it's a little bit more unsafe in certain areas, but at the end of the day, I mean, you can't be scared of the nighttime. The nighttime is just, it's dark, and if you're a sensible person, you're going to be fine for the most parts. And then like everything else, once you do it a couple times, you gain more confidence, you understand how to move. And the first month, though, was brutal. Just because you're doing a whole brand new thing. And I was very scared. Still didn't tell anybody. Not until like my third, fourth month did I even tell my mom. And then so I finally started telling people, and people were shocked. And but eventually, people actually started to get very excited. Like, man, that's really cool. I would always like to do that, et cetera, et cetera. And I just feel 100% better this year, Christmas time, than last year. I have a huge financial burden off me. I don't like commitment. I don't like relationships. That's why. Because I don't like the long-term commitment. And a house is a long-term commitment. And I don't like the extra space. You get security to a certain degree, but you pay for it. And I don't like the extra space. I don't like the idle time. It's like a house. I have to go there to justify what I'm spending per month. And I am a true nomad in the sense of I like constant movement. I like to be outdoors. I don't like the confining walls of a home. I feel suffocated. And, not always the case, but definitely as I got to this point in my life, and I felt like I either had to have somebody there to make it worth it, or I had to eat something to enjoy it, or I can't even go on long-term trips because the whole time I'm on a long-term trip, I'm thinking I got to get back to this anchor. I got to get back to this thing that I'm paying so much money per month for because it's a waste. And freedom is the best word to describe it. Freedom comes, obviously, like everything else, with a level of responsibility, and you have to learn to manage your time, and you want to then make sure that, now you have this extra money, you're not just blowing it. But, I'm going to get into some more things. Those are my general things. And let me just see here. Trucy, backing up on some comments. I know I'm a little late. My life is too comfortable. I'm looking forward to the challenge of Prius life. Well, Prius life is a good life. I mean, and there's nothing wrong if you're comfortable. If you're comfortable and you're happy, then I say God bless, whatever circumstance you are in life. But if you're comfortable, yeah, and you need something to keep you inspired with life and you're thinking it's an option, I'm not mad at that. Um, and he's talking about Prius life, living out of a Toyota Prius. Now, why that's attractive is because you get great gas mileage. And if you do an RV, that's the biggest negative, that you have poor gas mileage. That's why I do like, for a single person with no pets, I think try a car or a van before you go RV. Now, if you have pets or et cetera, then go RV. But more and more, I really don't see the need to do an RV unless you have more obligations. But yeah, Prius, I mean, whatever, they get 50 miles per gallon, so you can pretty much just be a free bird and travel. The part of living in the car, which you're also going to experience, is you're going to go through an exploration period where, depending on who you are, you're going to want to travel and see a lot of different things. For me, I never had a desire to go west, maybe at one point, but I had a desire to see the entire East Coast. I wanted, this year, I went up to Boston. I've never been to Boston. I went up to Vermont. I went to Pittsburgh, North Carolina, South Carolina. I just went up and down the East Coast, and I saw everything I wanted to see. But my vision is pinpointed on living in a warm climate. Why? Because for me, it's mentally harmful to be confined to the indoors and not to be able to go outside and walk and feel that sun. The cold weather shuts not only my body down, but my mind. And for me, I need my mind engaged. I don't like idle time. I don't like having cabin fever. It's destructive to me. I need to be outdoors, especially as much as possible. So that's given me the opportunity. Now, I still have some more adjustments to make because I have a job, so I have to go back up north. But we take it one step at a time. But yeah, I mean, living out of a Prius would definitely change your life. Now, Trucy, are you renting or are you owning? And what are you going to do? Let the rent expire? Or are you going to sell your house? Glam Gypsy. Downsizing cleared my mental space and helps me save. There's no doubt about it. The two biggest things that cause mental harm is financial obligations, materialistic items, and unhealthy relationships. So if you can get rid of the materialistic items and the biggest financial burden of a house or rent, and you can shit can unhealthy relationships, that's a big one a lot of people forget, then your mental space, you're going to be totally healthy. You're going to have the best opportunity you can to be happy mentally. You have to just, manage your time. And, obviously, again, you have to have it in you that that's what you want to do. You want to live a mobile, or you want to live a consolidated life. Because, there's some people that I don't think would thrive in this life. So how do you determine if you will or if you won't? One is, I think you have to like confined spaces. Two is, I think you have to like the outdoors. And three is, I think you have to, have a lifestyle that plays to that strength. You don't have a lot of, you don't have 3 children, you don't have 2 pets, because then if you do, then you can still live mobile, but it would be an RV. But then obviously you got to get your wife or husband to agree, so it's a whole process, and so. But yeah, it's definitely helpful mentally. Just before dawn, I got my Netflix and Hulu subscriptions back on yesterday. Really? I've been enjoying watching movies in season 7 of Shameless. Don't know that. These last couple of days. Well, I'm not mad at that. Just before dawn. I don't have any desire to have any of that. But I respect. Just before dawn, I believe he's living out of a minivan. And he does from time to time go to a hotel. I mean, that's the other option. You got to remember that if you do get, if you do want to have the comforts of indoors, then you just rent a hotel room for a couple days and get your mind refreshed. That's what Just Before Dawn does. But yeah, I mean, obviously too, maybe as I get older, I would, sign up, but I don't want any other bills, and I don't like watching movies anymore. I used to, but YouTube does it for me. It gives me everything I want. Sometimes I watch inspirational stuff. Sometimes I watch new stuff. Most of the times I watch, people, nomads or stuff like that. Milano, you save a lot of rent. Oh, damn sure. $1,500 a month in Jersey, question mark, plus utility bills. Well, one is I didn't rent, I owned. All my mortgage was $1,700 a month. My HOA fee, I lived in a condo community. My HOA fee, which stands for Homeowners Association fee, was $300, so that's $2,000. And then if you added my utility bills, my gas, my electric, my house insurance, all that, it was like $2,500 a month. So that's how much I was paying. Now I was in a nice area, nice community, so it's all relative, right? I mean, I could have lived on less, but that's what it was. So $2,500 a month I cut out of my monthly expenses. Milano is like an early retirement. No, it definitely is like early retirement. I mean, at the end of the day, one is I stay at my job because it's a blessing to have that job. I work very hard to get to that point in my life. And two is I work with great guys. But what I do have, like Glam Gypsy alluded to, I have a huge amount of mental freedom. So I know if I really do want to pull a trigger, I mean, I could just do about any job and sustain myself. I mean, I don't need to make a fortune to sustain my lifestyle because I'm living as, I don't spend a lot of money. My biggest expense is gas and Starbucks. And, I don't have a refrigerator, so buying food every day. But, I mean, just to have that mental relief valve is huge. Because I really don't stress out when I go to work or I go anywhere. I still do a good job. I still work hard. But just having that mental relief valve that I'm not owned by a house or rent, I mean, it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. So it is like being early retired. I mean, like right now, I've been 3 weeks in Florida. You know what I mean? A lot of people, that are, in a conventional life, they get 1-2 weeks vacation. And, so I'm blessed. I am. Sure enough, my house is paid for, but I still pay $500 a month, in insurance and property tax. Well, one is that's cheap. That's not bad. Well, $500, no, I could, no, that's almost like, whatever, $6,000 a year. So, no, I can understand that. Well, one is, God bless you for having your house paid off. That's a blessing, brother. Two is, well, let me ask you this. Do you have a desire to live mobile? And are you thinking of selling your house? But, I mean, because you're at a unique place in life that you haven't paid off for. So that's an interesting decision. Because, again, I have to be honest with you. What you lose when you live out of your car is you have no appreciating asset. So when you have a house, it over time appreciates. But at any time, the economy could take a shit. And then, you lose some of that equity. And two is you pay to keep that even when the mortgage is paid off. You never fully own your house, right? You're always going to owe property tax. You're always going to own utilities. You're always going to owe in homeowners association. So, and you're always going to have more of those knickknacks. Like I say, it used to fucking death by 1,000 paper cuts buying trash bags. I did a whole video on that. You know how much money people spend a month just buying trash bags? How much money people spend just buying air fresheners? How much money people spend buying Windex? I mean, all those little things that you buy to keep your house clean, the fucking scrub thing for the toilet bowl and all that shit. I mean, it's like, you spend a lot of money in those like little miscellaneous things over time that you don't realize. But as you get older, I don't know. I mean, I see some old guys living out of their van over here on the beach, man. And I mean, these guys got to be in their 70s, and they seem happy. They seem happy. So, I always said like when you get old, that will be tough. But I mean, they're doing it. So, yeah. What do you think? What do you think you're gonna do? Sure enough, are you thinking of selling? It's Miss Kimberly says, "Wow," with the hands up. Oh, JPM South Carolina's in the building. JPM had a couple guys trying to holler at her last night. JPM Trucy, can't you run the air conditioner while you sleep in the Prius? ? Now, I did see the guy who I used to watch on YouTube, I still watch him, who inspired me. Yes, you can do that. So that's a good point, JPM, and I didn't, maybe Trucy responded, but I'm going to read his response as well. But yes, because the Prius is a hybrid, it has battery power as well as gas. It uses both. If you it's like a thermostat. If you set your air and heating on to 70 degrees, at night, if it drops below 70, it'll automatically use the battery. And then when the battery gets to a certain point, it'll start off the car so that the car doesn't drain the battery too much. And it just keeps the car running until the battery charges, and it maintains that 70 degree or whatever you have it set at. So that's a great point. And that's what the guy who I watched, when he lived out of his Prius, that was the benefit. It's like you have RV, central air and cooling, without running your car constantly. Now the car will kick on. He said like, he lives in Texas, so that's a mild climate, and he said, when he would camp, because he had a home base and he had an RV on that home base with utilities, so he only did long-term camping. But when he would long-term camp, then he said it would cut on about 2-3 times a night to maintain that temperature. I think he would long-term camp mainly in Arizona, so in the winter. Trucy, part-time. work, part-time road trips. I'm not mad at that. That's a good break. Trucy. Yes, the HVAC is the big advantage. That is a big advantage. Don't have the car yet, though. That's the big advantage. You pay for it. I mean, because I don't know. Somebody Google it right now. I'm very curious. If you buy a new Toyota Prius, the sticker on that's got to be like 25, 30,000. Probably maybe even more, depending on the options. So, but like I say, I mean, so, it's something to think about. Something to think about. That's a big advantage, though. I'm not gonna lie, and that's a good point. Big advantage. Trucy says 2018 prepping for 2019. I'm not mad at that. You got a plan. Milano, $2,500 a month times 12. That's 30K. Good math. You saving, I am blessed, in 10 years, 300K. Good job. That is a lot of savings in 10 years. That is. And that's why you have to be mindful that you save that amount. And also you have to be mindful of you keep working, right? A lot of people get seduced in that, they stop working. Now, I'm not going to say I'll be doing the same thing 30 years from now. I don't know. I'm not going to say that. But like I said, long term, my goal would be I would love to be able to live off my investments and be able to stay in Florida for at least the entire winter. So, we'll have to see how that goes. I can't bank on that. But it is a lot of savings. You got to make sure you save it, though. Like I always say, why saving is hard? Because saving is hard, just like not eating a whole bag of skinny popcorn is hard. You don't want that money to burn a hole in your wallet, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm past that point in my life where where money burns a hole in my wallet. So, because I really have nothing I want to buy. So, I'm not at that point. Right now, it's just a matter of you can't get bored to the point you acquire. So, I also burn that off my spirit. I think in a 6-8 month, you're going to get bored and you may want to acquire another vehicle, another RV. That's why I saw a lot of people too. Like they'll do it. Most people won't last past 8 months. And the people that last past 8 months, what they usually do is then they buy a new RV or a new car. So say you live out of your car, van, or Toyota Prius or whatever, and after 8 months you decide to buy an RV, brand new one or whatever. I mean, you spend 60, 70,000 or up, there's nothing wrong with that. You still on net average would save versus your house or whatever, but you just spend a big chunk and now you're back into a depreciating asset. But but a lot of these RVs are holding their weight now. And I don't think it's as big as negative as it used to be. And I think as society with technology transitions to a mobile lifestyle and people are actually living more efficiently, I think RVs may appreciate a little bit. Some of them do. And, but you have to live your life. Like, I mean, I'm a believer in planning, but do you want to plan? Like, that's the other thing. Like, you could say, well, I'll play it safe. I'll live in my house for another 20 years. I'll save this. My house will be worth this. I'll have this in Social Security. But at some point, you have to say, look, I have to live my life too. I mean, do you want to plan your life on paper for 20 years and then 20 years is like, a waste? Now, I'm not saying be reckless, but you have to balance saving money, living your dream, and not waiting for your life to be over. Because, at 7, I can tell you one thing. I see people living in their vans around 70 years old on the beach, but those guys sure ain't surfing. They sure ain't walking the beach like I walk the beach. They're confined to their van mostly. Nothing wrong with that. They're in a different season of life, but they don't have the energy and the physical ability to go out there and really enjoy the outdoors like I do. I mean, because they're in a different season of life. Their body is broken down somewhat. And so you have to be mindful of those things. What do you value? Now, again, if you're a middle-aged or younger person and you really you see yourself with a family and a dog and, then you have a different dream. I don't have that dream. I have a dream of living real simple, having no financial stress, being able to live off some type of self-secured investment, and doing videos and spending time with people I really like, and that's it. I mean, that's what I want to do. Sorry, I got a little bit in a tangent. I'm just going to freestyle tonight. It's a fun night for me, that's all. I'm not going crazy. Let me keep my phone charged. That's your most important thing. You want to keep your phone charged. Oh, only 15% charge. Okay, sure enough. Yes, I want to sell and bank it. Well, is the real estate market still hot? If you want to share, what? Don't say the specific area, but what state are you in, sure enough? He wants to sell his house. He's got it paid off for and bank it while I'm on the road and take at least a year sabbatical in a van. That's a good idea. Until I decide where I want to buy a condo. That's a great idea. Sure enough, one is praise the Lord that you got a paid off house. I think you have a great plan to sell, to take a sabbatical. And people, I know the first time I heard my pastor say take a sabbatical, I said, what the fuck is that? Sabbatical is a break. That's what it basically means. A teacher or somebody who takes a break. So he wants to take a break from the conventional life, go exploring. Exploring is a huge thing. Go exploring for years, figure out where he wants to lay his new roots, and then, maybe buy a condo there. I think that's a great plan. Great plan, sure enough. And I think now is a good time too, because the real estate market is still hot. Still hot. So if you sell now, one is, if you want to share, what state do you live in, and do you have the van already, or will you be buying a new van? But I want to say too, before I go to the next comment, is I really think, here's why I think that's a good idea too, because if you do want to purchase again, or even if you don't want to purchase again, if you want to find like a home base, like me and Milano chop it up or whatever, like even if I eventually buy a piece of land or something in Florida, whatever, I don't know. But you want to find the areas that most inspire you. Because what will happen is after a certain amount of time on the road, you're going to know the areas you don't want to be around anymore. And so you're going to figure out that, there's only so much you can explore. Then once you've explored, you say, all right, well, these are the areas I best like. They have the stores I like in this area, the environment, the vibe, the location, the weather, everything plays to what I like. And so once you figure that out, then then that's where you put your roots. Because eventually the bird does want to land somewhere in a somewhat of a central hub. Even if you stay mobile, you want to have somewhat of an area that's your go-to. And so, but the only way to know that is to explore. Because there's a big difference between going on vacation, taking a plane ride or a train into a certain area and then walking around, versus for a couple days or a couple weeks, versus going somewhere several times and staying there several weeks and then deciding. Like I said, when you do exploring, you have to do it in layers. You never get the full perspective the first time. You never get the full perspective the second time. You have to explore in levels and layers. Several times doing it, that's how you refine the vision and pinpoint the area. And there's no way to know that without exploring. Milano, 10 years is not a long time. It's not. 10 years flies, but 10 years is also a long time, right? Let me think about that. I'm 37. It's Christmas Day as I make this at 37 years old. When I was 27 years old and Christmas Day 10 years ago, my mind and my life was at a whole different place. So 10 years is a long ass time. Like, time flies, but think about, I want everybody in the chat room right now to think about this. Think about your age, whatever age you are, and then minus 10 and think about where you were 10 years ago. I'm sure most people were in a whole nother space. Think about that. That's powerful. So 10 years means a lot. And that's a lot of time. And life changes a lot in 10 years. JPM, Prius would be a good option for me. You know how I'm always complaining about the South Carolina heat. Yeah, JPM says she's a puss a little bit. I still remember that comment. Made me laugh. That would be good. But the only problem now with the Prius for a girl, now, the guy Rusty that I was watching, he said the person who inspired him was actually a female that he met when he was RVing on the road, and she was full-timing in the Prius, and that's how he even got the idea, because this was before YouTube had really got hot. With, like, people living out of their car, and hot chicks talking about they live out of their car. Hobo Alley, I don't know if she's living out of her car, but that's all right. What I'm trying to say is, a woman can do it, because that's who inspired Rusty. But what I would say, I still think you have to remove your front seat or something. We got to be able to squat to pee. See, like at the middle of the night, I throw my Johnson, in the plastic cup and it's a go. Now, for a woman, in the middle of the night, you got to get up and, you got to be able to squat or do something. So, you women, you know better than me. I'm not a woman, so I don't know. But you just that's the only thing, like, for a woman that I worry about if they don't have a van. But other women do it, so I'm sure you could. And being that, then you would gain the advantage of having central air and central heat. I think it's a huge plus. And I would think it'd be worth, even if, did anybody Google how much is a brand new Toyota Prius? I would love to know. Sticker price. It's got to be 25 or 30 at least. Milano, Imagine you started this lifestyle 10 years ago. Today you would have saved 300K. Milano's hot on that math. Milano's saving me money. That's true, Milano. But like I say, if I'm being honest and fair with you guys, if I deduct 10 years off my age, I'm 37 now, and I say to my 27-year-old self, live out of a car and save money, I wouldn't have wanted to do it. And that's the other part about life. I got to be fair. I mean, we just have different seasons of life. And until we're ready to do something, we won't do something. And you know, sometimes I'm a little bit rough, like with people like, you know, and I'm saying that really to be rough on myself, to get focused, like, no, don't overeat, eat healthy. Too, when I was 27, I wanted to eat like shit because I knew like that was my time window in life. If I'm gonna eat like shit, I might as well do it in my 20s because I know as I get older, I can't eat like this. And so I got inspired by ordering Chinese food, ordering, you know, fried chicken, going home, watching my big screen TV, watching sports, watching porn, and calling it a night. Because at 27, 28, I had finally figured out, like, I'm done with these chicks. I'm going to let my body go, and I'm going to eat my ass off, and I'm just going to live happy with my dog. And I did that for several years, and I loved it. I wouldn't have been inspired living out of a car. So the lesson is, my long-winded lesson is, every part of life has a season. And only you know what you want to do in that season. But what I will say is seasons change. And so I got knocked off. But when the season changes, make the change. Don't get stuck in an old season. Very important. Very important. That's not easy to do, though. I got to scroll back because I missed a couple comments. Trucy, start as small as you can. That's very true. And see how it goes. I agree with that. That's wisdom. Dream big, start small. That's right. Need more room, comfort, and expense. You'll figure it out fast. I agree with that. I think that's wisdom what Trucy's saying. That's all I always say. Start with the current car you have, and then if that doesn't work, you can always buy a different one, etc., etc. And if you want an RV, there's nothing wrong. Like I said, my man Milano in Miami, he's got a beautiful RV. I'm not mad at that. And I think he's got 2 cute dogs. So, like, you know, that may end up your end game, but at least try to build your way up. That way you know you don't overstep. You know what I mean? So, I think that's wisdom. Show enough. Oh, Oklahoma. Okay, respect and love to Oklahoma. That's where Show enough is at. Trucy, whenever I get the urge to buy something, I buy a gold or silver coin. All right. Well, be careful too there because I mean that could go down in value. But and I know Trucy. I know he's got the Ghostbuster Illuminati sign, so I know he's preparing for the end days possibly. I'm not mad at you, Trucy. Now, do you do Bitcoin too, or is that too crazy? Because my man Pac Live, I saw he joined. He made a grip off of Bitcoin. What's your thoughts on that, Trucy? Show enough. When my kiddo heads to college, I will be selling. I still have a couple years yet, but I'm planning ahead. Amen. Nothing wrong with that, brother. Because I think it's wisdom to start. One is, I think it makes life better to have a vision, to have a dream, to have something that inspires you. I mean, without that, what are you going to do? You have Christmas dinner or whatever you do and just, watch the same shit. I mean, you want to watch what's in your mind. You want something to think about, to inspire you, to dream about. And that cultivates your passion. So that's good. And you're doing, and like I always say too, whatever you do, try to do it responsibly. So sure enough, brother, I mean, you're doing things very responsibly. You got your house paid off for, you taking care of your obligations with your child. I mean, God's gonna bless you. I believe in that. Like, because somebody who takes care of their responsibilities, I believe like they're gonna get blessed. Because they're doing things in order. And you're gonna be good, in my opinion. D, I was still here. And it's a smiley face. I hear. Thank you, D. Pac Live, Merry Christmas. California's in the house. Pac Live, thank you, brother. I was just talking about you with the Bitcoin thing. God bless you, Pac Live. Good to see you, brother. Pac Live, I gotta share only because it's like an awesome testimony. Pac Live, his family migrated here from Cambodia. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but as war refuge family. Immigrated into this country and made a home and a successful life for them. Respect and love to people that have immigrated from other parts of the world, and especially coming from a war-torn country, and that's why I'm a firm believer, and that's why I'll make videos too politically. I believe that there should be a pathway for people to immigrate into this country. My grandparents did it from Italy. And I will always speak up for it. And and I'm thankful. One is that he shared that testimony with me. I think never forget that, okay? Never forget Steve Jobs, his father was a Syrian refuge. Never forget Albert Einstein was also a war refugee. And so immigration, I believe in it. And there has to be a pathway to legal immigration, not just not just saying, oh, we got to build a wall. We got to build another Ellis Island. I'm gonna do a whole video on that. Where the hell is the new Ellis Island? They closed Ellis Island. They never built any new type of like place where people can come to legally file in. So I say all that to say, Pac Live touched my life when he left that comment, and that he came here from another land, a war-torn land, and he's a positive person in society. And you got to make a mental note. I know a couple people I work with migrated here from South America, and these brothers, great guys, great positive people, blessing in my life, and that matters to me. And as I said, like, I know sometimes I lose subscribers because I talk a little politics, but that's part of me too. I mean, part of me is living out of my car. Part of me is talking about fun stuff. Part of me is talking about serious stuff. Part of me talking about plant-based diet. And part of me is I talk about society issues. They matter to me. So I know it turns some people off. I know I told my guy Wally I wouldn't talk politics today because it's Christmas, but I got to throw a little bit in there because that's part of me. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Oh, John Clary, new subscriber. I'm Johnny. Nice to meet you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, John Clary. Bless you. I did see you subscribed. Thank you, brother. Good to meet you. Welcome. Trucy. Let me make sure my phone's still charging. Yeah. Trucy. When you are young and have nothing you want, when you're young and have nothing you want at all, I agree with that. Once you get it, blah, boring, then you really start to think. I agree with that. That's a great comment. When you're young, you want to acquire because you want to make your conquest in this world. You want to prove you succeeded. Then once you get it all, you end up, I often say, like the movie Scarface, you end up like Tony Montana at the dinner table. Remember that scene when he was at the dinner table and he had made it all the way to the top, okay? And he was drunk and he was eating the best food in the restaurant and he had the hot chick that he finally got and he was with his right-hand man. And he says, this is what it's fucking about? Because his like girl was driving him crazy. He had everything that was on top and he still wasn't happy with life. And he threw like his hands up and this is what it is, fucking this is what it's about. And he made like a big scene in the restaurant. Now he was a little drunk, but that scene always stuck out in my mind. And that's what Trucy brings up a powerful point. Once we get to what society has said, this makes you happy, you will get there and say, this doesn't make me happy. But I want to be fair, we have to experience that to some point. Now, if you can take these lessons and try to like, maybe not have to go all the way in so that you could save yourself some of the headache, that's wisdom. But to some extent, you're going to have to experience that yourself. And that's why, sometimes I feel bad because I know I talk a little rough, and I don't want to begrudge people from experiencing it for themselves. You have to experience life for yourself, and you have to go through these things yourself. And everyone has different seasons of life. So, but everything's a seed. Everything's a seed. Good point, Trucy. Great point. Trucy, no Bitcoin. I have to hold it. I hear you. Bitcoin had a... Now, I don't trade Bitcoin either. My man Pac Live made a grip off that. But I know last week it really traded crazy because the SEC got involved. Once you start making money, government's going to want their chop. You know what I mean? So, JPM, Bitcoin took a hit last Friday. It did, I heard, but I don't do Bitcoin. But I hear that. JPM checking in on that financial news. I'm not mad at her. D's from New Hampshire. D, my grandparents came from Italy. Amen. And they also came to Ellis Island. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We need a new Ellis Island so that people can have a pathway to legal citizenship. Now, I'm for the legal thing. We don't want, people have to do things right. But if you don't, like, how do you know how to do things? There's no more like a central place that you can go and you can get help and you can get, and come on, I'm going to say I'm going to get a little politic right now. I mean, Trump's wife, she's an immigrant. How'd she get her papers? She's rich, powerful, and hot. If she was a fat, ugly chick that was from a poor country, she wouldn't get her papers. Let me tell you something. If you got money and power and you look good, you'll get your papers. But if you're fat, ugly, and you don't know anybody in this world, you ain't going to get your papers. I mean, you're going to be in how long that line is? Forget about it. I mean, that's how I feel. I know some people get upset. I got to be honest, though. John Cleary, do you follow any MGTOWs? Thank you for the question, John. A couple of people have asked me that, and for others who don't know, that abbreviation stands for men going their own ways, I believe. So no, I don't follow that. I don't subscribe to that mindset. I don't subscribe to that mindset. Now, when I got out of a couple relationships, I was bitter, like everyone else who gets out of bad relationships. But God has also blessed me with the mindset of accountability, Sam. Be accountable for yourself. So a lot of these girls that I end up with a bad relationship with, it's my own fault. Why was it my own fault? Because I said, well, let me play the game. Let me see if I can get her to fall in love with me. And then sometimes when I didn't get her to fall in love with me and I fall in love with her, I was on the hook, but I was playing the game. I was accountable for that. And I knew what I was getting into. Come on. You meet somebody, hot or whatever, and you know what you're getting into. Come on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know who people are off the door. And I knew I was playing with fire. And I played with fire. I got burnt a couple times, okay? And so, initially, like everyone else, I blamed them for everything. At least in my mind. But after I healed, and as I heal, I always say, like, even there was one girl, like I was thinking about the other day. And I said, I thank God for that experience with her. Because she taught me a lot. And some things, it was my own fault. The bottom line is, I don't believe in men going their own way. Because I believe that's bitter men that aren't taking accountability for their life. I believe that a woman's perspective and a woman's touch in your life will bless your life. Now, she may be a pain in the ass too. I'll co-sign that. But what I'm trying to say is it takes two to tango, B. Okay? That's what I learned in life. It takes two to tango. So, if you're tangoing, you played a part in it. And I played a part in that shit. And so it is what it is. Like, as a man, as a woman, as a person of integrity, you got to take the accountability and say, I played a part in that. And, I knew what it was. And sometimes it's just lessons learned. But I also thank God for some beautiful moments I had that I think it is good to experience that in your life. Now, I know now, I don't want to fuck with that anymore. I'd rather just watch porn once in a while and masturbate. I'll be honest with you. People don't want to hear that either. People don't want to hear me talk about Trump. People don't want to hear me talk about porn. But that's how I feel. Okay? Milano, if you are a woman, can you use Pampers? If you're a woman, can you use Pampers? Well, I know older women just as they use Pampers. So it's not easy when you get older to hold your thing. And you could use Pampers, but then you got that stench. And I don't know if you'd be comfortable, but it's an option. It's an option. I mean, it is what it is. When you get to a certain point, you don't care. But there's got to be a way that, you could find, like, there's so much stuff online. I'm sure you can Google on Amazon, like some type of, like, not a, what do they call it? Not a catheter. Not like an official catheter, but I'm sure you can get some type of, like, funnel thing that will funnel into, like, a thing. I'm sure they got it out there. Probably just Google it. And you can probably buy it on Amazon for $20. They'll deliver it right to your UPS box. And you got, like not a catheter, but, like, something like that. You go right into your thing. And now you don't have to spend $100 grand on RV. You just buy a Toyota Prius and you're good. Not bad. Milano. So at 27, you were a machine-eating, expending crazy guy. You live la vida loca, crazy life. I did. And I enjoyed that life. I was living la vida loca. And I liked that. I did. And I liked it. And that's what I'm saying too. Like, I got to be fair. I don't want to begrudge people for not living that life. Now, I will say this. I thank God I made it out of some things in life. Because it was only by the grace of God I made it out of some experiences. So that's the thing too. You play with fire. I realize now that it was only by the grace of God. Because there was a lot of people I knew play with fire. They didn't make it out. So I'm not going to try to sit here. I mean, I think part of the reason I made it out was accountability. I was never the type of person where I try to blame other people too much for my shit. And I take my accountability for my part in life. So that's a huge thing. The other thing is the grace of God. I definitely agree with it. It's the grace of God that I'm still here. I agree with that. Trucy says we need NASA push jug technology. Yeah, I'm sure they got it out there. You don't even need NASA. You just need some guy on eBay that rigs something up. I mean, they got to have it. They got to have some. I mean, they probably have it at like Walgreens. Like I go on Walgreens and they have like different, like, just go like look at like senior care stuff. Like not diapers, but they got to have like some type of senior funnel cup. I would think that. No Man's Land. Hey, Sam, why is a Prius good for nomads? Well, two reasons. One is gas mileage. You get 50 miles per gallon. Two is, like JPM mentioned, and we were talking with Trucy, you can actually at night run the heating and air conditioning without starting your car. It has a thermostat. It will use the battery, and it will automatically turn the car on without you having to do it throughout the night if it needs to charge that battery so it can sustain that temperature that you have it set at, such as 70 degrees, etc. So the gas mileage and having heating and cooling available to you at night without you having to start the car or do it automatically if it needs to, those are the two biggest benefits of a Toyota Prius. Milano. Sammy, my RV did not cost as much as you may think. I just got a good deal. It has 22K miles on 2007. I didn't think it was that. When I bought it, now it's 29K, still like brand new. Well, amen, brother. Well, I'm glad you're a good guy. I'm glad that you got a good deal. Milano has a beautiful RV. I saw his guy. He has a friend that has Emilio's Journey YouTube channel, and he showed me one of the videos him and his man did. He's got a beautiful Class B. So if you got a good deal on it, and like I said, Milano's got 2 dogs, I think, from his profile picture. So I'm not against the RV. If you can get a decent deal and it works like Milano did, I mean, a Class B that's the next step, right? From a van, the next step is a Class B. That's like a conversion van. And the thing I do like about a Class B, like especially if you're going to be in a very extreme climate, he's got hookups. So if it gets really hot, I mean, the guy's in Miami. So if it gets really hot in Florida in the summer, he can, either run his generator, he's got his hookup now. But the Toyota Prius may do the same thing. But you ain't going to live with 2 dogs in a Toyota Prius. So, and he's got a shower in there. He's got, the stove and the refrigerator. It's all a matter of what you want. Like that, I'm just sharing my journey, and we're sharing all of our journeys. There's benefits to everything. Everything is like, you weigh out pros and cons, and everything changes. There's a guy walking his dog behind me. Always keep your eye on it. Let me go back to the comments. Milan's got beautiful Class B though. John Cleary, do you follow Nomadic Fanatic or do you group camp or just ride solo? I do watch Nomadic Fanatic. He was one of the original people that inspired me. Not so much my style anymore, but I still respect him. He is, one of the top people on YouTube. Sometimes, I don't like some, but I like him overall, and I think he's a good, positive channel. I don't know him as a person, but I would agree his channel is beautiful. And so then the next question is, and I saw his last episode where he group camped with people in Texas. I don't group camp. I am a solo person. That's just my personality. I'm not against group camping. I'm not against meeting up with people. Again, it's all personal preference. But me, I'm a solo bird. Like this right here, connecting with you guys, and I got like a couple of relationships that, like, in real life, I chill with people once in a while. That's enough for me. I'm a solo bird. Like I was saying last night, when I went to visit the zoo. I like animals, and I went to visit the zoo a couple months ago in New Jersey, and there was a group in front of me, and they were real well knowledgeable on different species, and they were looking at one species. I don't know what type of thing it was. It was like a cougar or something, and they were saying, like, the son was saying to the parents, "Oh, I feel bad that animal is all alone in the cage." And the parents, who were very educated on animals, they went all over the world, looked at different safaris. They said, "No, son, what you don't realize is that species actually does better when they're mainly alone. So putting other animals with that animal would not make it better for them, it would make it worse." And also what I experienced is, when I had a dog, I had a boxer dog, a female. That was the breed Boxer. And she was a female, and in the very beginning, I had a girl living with me, very beginning, and when I got a dog for her, so my Boxer dog did not do good with other dogs in the house. She wanted to be the only dog. So what I'm saying is, through these different life observations, is you have to know yourself. Knowing yourself is the key to all decisions. There's some people that don't do good in group environments. There's some people that thrive in group environments. I do better mostly by myself. But good question. And I did see his last episode where he did that in Texas. And he seemed like they had a cool time. Everybody seemed cool. So I'm not mad at that. No Man's Land. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, No Man's Land. Pack Live. I know I'm a little bit late in the comments, guys. Excuse me. Bitcoin will have too much technology. Get fast mine then. And now, governments are involved. Now, governments and commodity are things. Gold, silver, spaces, rocks. Okay. I was never a gold guy. Is valuable because they're rare valuable. Yeah, gold is like, excuse me, guys. The problem I have with gold is, it can go up just like anything can go up. And when the economy's good, well, Gold to me is a play on Armageddon and inflation. One is, I think if we really get Armageddon and we had a nuclear war or some catastrophic shit happened, I don't see the value in gold because you ain't gonna be able to eat that shit. And even if you trade for that shit, I mean, a can of beans is gonna be worth more than a can of gold, I would think. But I could be wrong. And the second thing is inflation. Now that the economy is booming, interest rates are going up. When interest rates go up, they try to keep inflation down, so it's all relative. And when they start printing more money and interest rates are low, then inflation go high. I mean, it's all a fucking game. That's the bottom line. It's however you want to play the game and however you want to make your bets. That the key to like investing too is also knowing yourself and how you like to invest and what you like to invest in. There's no right or wrong answer. So that's what also I learned in life. Like in the beginning of like me like trying to do different investments. One is I want to say very clearly, any investment is a complete risk. All there is in life is risk management and nothing is guaranteed. That being said, if you have a certain amount of money that you work for and you want to risk it, I'm not against that. And then it's just a matter of what should you risk it in, whatever you like to pay attention to and whatever you want to do. All I would say is just like Kanye West said, don't stare at money too long, it becomes Medusa. Okay? And that's the other thing I learned. Like I would trade stocks sometimes and I'd be looking at a screen all day. And I would lose my whole day. Now, I'm not against, I look at a screen a certain part of the day, but I have my time limits. And I know I just see JPM's popped in, and I know I missed a couple comments. She says diversity. Diversity is good for investments, but the problem is you make money slower. But the problem is you have less risk. So when you have more risk, you can make money faster. When you have less risk, you can make money slower or lose money. I mean, it's all a matter of how you want to play it. How much risk should you take? All relative to you, right? If you're a single person, if you have no kids, if you have no family, you can risk everything because nobody's fucking depending on you. But if you have children, if you have a house, you can't risk as much. You shouldn't because you'd be very irresponsible. And if you lose money, you're going to be hurting. Like this, I remember like my man, I used to chop it up with investments at work. He used to always ask me, I said, brother, you can't compare how I invest to you invest because I said, it's just me in this world. Like, if shit totally hits the fan, like it is what it is. He had 3 kids. I said, I wouldn't tell you to take as much risk as I take because you got 3 kids, a mortgage, a dog. I mean, God forbid, something goes sour for you, it will fucking make you go nuts. It even make me go nuts like when stuff goes sour, but I can handle it because I know it's just me. So that's the thing you have to evaluate when you take risks. Like, how many people are counting on you? How much risk can you handle without going crazy? And, I keep a certain amount at this point in complete savings with no risk. Like I don't take, there's a certain chunk of what I've worked for over the course of years that I keep and I don't risk it at all. Because I have a certain amount of money that I play with, a certain amount of money that I bank, and a certain amount of money I save. And that's it. I don't really like, but it took me years to figure out the balance for me. And it'll take you years to figure out the balance for you. And in between figuring it out, you're going to lose a lot. So just know that that's part of life. So be careful, okay? Trucy. Hey, Sam, gotta go. Merry Christmas. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you, Trucy. Love and respect you in Vancouver. God bless you, brother. Thank you. Pack Live or things. I got you, Pack Live. And JPM says diversity. I just touched on that. Amen. Pack Live. Any investment is 100% risk. I agree with that. You can lose all. I agree with that. Smart investors calculation, 10% of income. I'm not mad at that. I mean, everybody has to figure out their own percentage, but I totally agree with the 100% emoji icon. As far as anything you do in life is risk. There is no such thing in this world, period, that is guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed in this world. Everything is risk. So you have to know your situation. How much are you willing to risk? How much can you risk? And you should keep a certain amount just until, like, as safe as possible. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. That's wisdom. Praise the Lord. You know what I like to do is I like to drink. Now, ice melted a little bit, but I like to chew on ice. I don't know how many people out there like to chew on ice. Or not chew on it, like suck on it. And please don't get crazy. All right. Pack Life. Guarantees are only taxes and death. Well, to some extent, that's true. Taxes just went down under Trump, supposedly, in February. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't want to talk about that again. But the other thing about death, some people believe in the resurrection. You believe in Jesus, you believe in resurrection. So I don't know. But yeah, those take faith. Those take faith. But that's a good point, brother. I hear that, Pack Live. Love and respect to you. Oh, it's Miss Kimberly still in the building. See 3 laugh ups. Pack Live laugh too. You gotta laugh. Come on. You gotta laugh. Come on. It's crazy. My mom always chews on ice. Oh, amen. Now, like I said, I probably don't chew on it, suck on it, like I said. But I like it. It's refreshing, especially at night. What did you guys eat for Christmas? Did you guys go OD? Did you guys eat like real crazy? Or did you guys keep it healthy? JPM, did you do all that cooking? Did your moms help you out? Did your sons enjoy it? Praise the Lord. John Cleary, I collect silver coins. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. I collect silver coins, making some corned beef in a crock pot. Amen. Thank you for sharing, brother. Corned beef in a crock pot. I'm not mad at that. God bless you, John. Pack Live. Good night, Sam. That's it. Love you, Pack Live. Be good, brother. Thank you for sharing your journey with me. JPM, heck yeah. It was a blast, but I'm glad it's over. Amen to that. Amen to that. Now, are you at your mom's house? Are you at your house? And it's good. You know what was always good too? There, like when all that commotion is done, then you take a shower, you're in your sweatpants, and you just chill. So I mean, if you could live in a car too, I mean, that part of your life is different now. You could chill in your van though. You could set it up. Yeah, I don't enjoy gatherings, but it's good it's good to experience them, and then when you're done, and then you just call it a night. John Cleary, I like the don't accept invitation video. That's one of my favorite. Thank you, John. That was true. That was one of my first videos, and that was true inspiration. Like I meant that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, brother. Yeah, it's Miss Kimberly also likes that video. Say no to say no to invitations. I still like that one too. Thank you, John. Thank you for sharing that. That's a good video. It's some funny ones. JPM, I'm at my mom's tonight. Not sure about next week. JPM, when do you go back to work? When does everybody go back to work? You guys going back to work tomorrow? It's Miss Kimberly. Say no to obligations. It's Miss Kimberly. She's been a faithful viewer since the very beginning of my channel. And she knows that video well. She always talking about that video. And I thank God for Miss Kimberly. Miss Kimberly, now, too, I want to recognize this Miss Kimberly. She was one of the first people to encourage me to go live. Now, you can't go live until you have 100 subscribers. Just so you know, if you ever start a YouTube channel, you got to have at least 100 subscribers. Then you can go live. Then they give you the feature. And I did it once, just to see how, and she said, Sam, you should try to do it again. And it's been one of my favorite parts of YouTube. So I thank it's Miss Kimberly for that. She's been a true inspiration. And everyone else too, but I want to acknowledge her on that. D says she goes back tomorrow. Yay! You see, that's the other thing. That's a good point, D. A lot of people say that they would like to quit their job or they like to be remote. But after a couple people have been off for a few weeks, they go crazy. And they need the structure of a job or else it wouldn't be good for them. So, and I can understand that. So praise the Lord. I'm glad you're doing better because I know you had a tough week last week. I sensed it in your spirit with your landlord. I hope they're going better for you. It's Miss Kimberly says no problem. Thank you, it's Miss Kimberly. Thumbs up emoji. John Cleary, I didn't go anywhere. Got to be at work at 5 a.m. I understand that, but I'm hitting the Labbits. I'm not sure what that is, but I understand that getting up at 5 a.m. I'm not mad at you, but thank God that you got income coming in. Hopefully tomorrow will be slow for you. D. Oh, beer. Gotta hit the beer. I understand. D. I have just too much Xmas. Yeah, you get an overdose on the holidays. I agree with that. I understand that. JPM, I go back to work tomorrow. I do have a ton of, that's probably PTO days built up. We call them at our job PTO, paid time off. I don't know what ETO means. That must mean extra time off. I'm not sure. ETO days built up. I may do a little traveling next year. Amen. It all starts with exploring. I think that's the first step. And John corrected me on that beer. Earn time off. I never heard of that one. Okay. D says, landlord actually called me because he needed new batteries for his hearing aid. This guy's killing me. Damn, D. But I know you got to try to get out of the situation. But, damn it. People only call you when they want some shit. But that's all right. That's all right. I mean, it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. Glam Gypsy slept in today, did hair till 10 last night, and laughing emojis. I'm not mad at that. I didn't really understand how important it was till I dated a chick. Yeah, once they do their hair, they gotta sleep a certain way. It's like a whole thing. But yeah, I mean, that's the part too about the holidays. Everybody looks their best. Everybody gets their hair done. Everybody gets their hair cut. Everybody's got their best outfit on. And then after that, you're like, thank God the show's over. Then everybody gets ugly again because they're like, fuck it, the show's over. They're done tap dancing. And I'm at the point in my life where I'm not tap dancing anymore. So I'm not doing any of that show. Like I used to do the show. I used to tap dance. I had jewelry. I had, Versace shirt. You know what I mean? I go extra crazy in the gym like the day before a big event. And I'm done. I'm done tap dancing. No more tap dance. Yeah, it's Miss Kimberly. Give me the tap dance emoji. I don't even think they have a tap dance emoji, do they? Oh, just give me the shoes. It's Miss Kimberly's good with those emojis. Praise the Lord. Gotta laugh. Gotta have a good time. John. Do you work? If not, what do you do during the day? I do work. Right now, I'm currently on vacation. I go back to work next week, middle of next week. Wednesday is my first day back. So I took the rest of my, we call it paid time off, this year, 3 weeks in December, because I knew I wanted to go down to Florida. So I work in a technology field, so electrical engineering. So I have some flexibility where I do some work remotely, but I have to be on site some days. So, until I could be fully remote, I got to go back, and I'll be going back to New Jersey by next week. Let me see here. James Abraham, love and respect you, brother. God bless. If your car breaks down, what are your options temporarily until it gets fixed? Good question, brother. Well, one is I have car rental insurance through my car insurance, so if it God forbid, if I get in an accident, I could use that. But if it breaks down and it's not through accident, just it breaks down, then it's like everything else. Like I have enough money saved, like, I got those options. So it's like you have to almost ask yourself, it's a question, but you almost have to ask yourself, well, if I have my house and my car breaks down, you're actually in more trouble. Why? Because now you have a house payment and your car broke down. Sorry, I got knocked offline. So if you have a house and your car breaks down, you're still in the same boat. You still need a car to get to work and to get around. So it's actually better living in your car, living out of one bag, and God forbid if your car breaks down, because then you got more financial resources and more flexibility that, you can do whatever you can improvise. You can rent a car for, whatever amount of, I'd probably have to rent a car if it was long term, but I have the flexibility because I have a huge amount of financial freedom. So actually, again, it would be better than if you had a house, a car, and then your car broke down, because then you have that house payment still, and you still got to figure out a solution. So good question though, and it's a thoughtful question. Where am I at? I missed a couple options. Okay, Milano. Sammy, you found anything, Jet? Did I find anything? Did you find anything yet? Well, as far as home base, you talking about, Milano? You talking about a home base? And it is Miss Kimberly, give me the tap dance emoji. Glam Gypsy, laugh out loud. Right, salon life. Yeah, that's salon life. That's salon life. And it's Miss Kimberly's in that salon life. And like I said, my mom was in that salon life for a period, and then she said, too much gossip, Sam. I can't fuck with all those women. Too much gossip. I wasn't mad at her. John Cleary, women and their hair. There's a YouTube channel right there. Oh yeah, big time. Some of the most popular YouTube people are women that talk about makeup. Makeup's a huge business. Why is makeup a huge business? Because it's got a huge profit margin. Okay? Why do you think Kylie and Kim Kardashian, why do you think they pump that makeup? Because it's got a huge profit margin. If you know business, one of the biggest profit margin businesses is makeup. How do you think, like, what was that, the first, thing that started, Avion. Like, when, you know what I mean? People start selling, like, that makeup, and there's a lot of them now that call different things, but they're, like, almost like a pyramid scheme. But they're not. They do recruitment stuff. But makeup's got a huge markup on it. And, I'm not mad at it either. And I'm not mad at women for wanting to do makeup and hair, because, people want to feel good about themselves. They want to look good. So, too, if that's your lane and that inspires you, I would say do a YouTube channel and do all those things. So, always say you should do whatever inspires you and whatever is around your passions and what comes easy to you. And I always say, too, like, I actually enjoy my girls with extensions in their hair. I like long hair, even if it was fake. So like I never had a problem, like, you know what I mean, when I was dating people, like they go to the salon, they get, and I like nails too. I always used to like nails. I like when they get the tips, extensions. Um, so, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I don't knock it. I mean, if it's for you, I mean, I'm just at a different season of life. I'm in the, it's Miss Kimberly, give me the tap dance and then the Ghostbuster sign. I'm in the no tap dance zone. That's the season of life I'm in. So there's no tap dance going on anymore. John Clearly, do you have any vids showing your setup supplies you carry? Well, don't carry much, but I do have a video. If you look in my playlist on my channel, on my Nomad Simple Life playlist, you go down all those videos. It'll show you all the different parts of what I talk about living out of a car. And there is a couple that I made that I showed, like my how I lay back there. I show one that how my pillows are set up at night, etc., etc. And I think I showed one just briefly. I got one bag of shit, just like some basic clothes, and that's it. I mean, there's no shelving back there. There's no tripod set up. There's no refrigerator like hanging from the ceiling with a disco ball and nighttime lights. There's none of that shit. This is a Jeep Renegade with the seats down, a couple quilts. But in that Nomad playlist, like I show that I went to Walmart in one episode and I got like egg crates. I put the egg crates on top of the fold down seats. I put a bunch of quilts. I got a pillows that I set up. I put my window covers on, and that's it. And I did a classic video. Check out the video I did about the entertainment necessity for living in a car with the earbuds. That was a funny video. That's it, man. My phone, window covers, quilts, and my seats down, and a bag of shit. That's all I got. There's no like. Some people masturbate to building out their van. I mean, you see some channels, and I'm not mad at them. That's their gift. That's what they like to do. They spend months. Like, they got plywood. They got fucking, like, all types of shit. I don't have any of that. I don't want any of that. But some people love building out stuff. I don't like building out stuff. That's why I got rid of my house. I got tired of renovations. I don't want any renovations. My man WhatsApp me. I don't know if you guys got WhatsApp. He WhatsApp me, like, video conference me. And I love this guy. Good guy. And he showed me, like, he was doing a renovation. It almost broke my heart. But he likes doing it. Like, I know he likes doing it. Like, he used to tell me, Sam, don't get upset with me. He's like, I like doing this. But I looked at, like, the renovation he was doing, like, I wanted to throw up. Like, the sheetrock was all spackled up, and he had to, I'm done with that. I don't want to do any more renovations. I don't want to build out a car. I don't want to build out a van. I barely want to fold down these seats and put a quilt down. That's it. I'm done. I want simple. So I may not be the best channel for that example, but if you want simple, I'm your guy, okay? All you got to do is buy a car off the lot, put the back seats down, you're good. All right? That's the type of life I'm living. Not for everybody, just for me. Thank you for the question, brother. I'm sorry, I got to go back to a few. It's Miss Kimberly. Yeah, Avon and Mary Kay. That's right. And then there's a couple new ones now. I mean, they came out with a whole bunch now. Because I know a couple chicks, like I always see them pump, and I'm not mad at them. But there's a lot now. But those were the two originals. No Man's Land. Bamboo earrings, at least 2 pairs. That's LL Cool J. A Fendi bag and a bad attitude. Laugh out loud. That's right. That's classic. LL Cool J. He's repeating the lyrics to Around the Way Girl. It's Miss Kimberly. Tap dance. And then, well, we don't want gun violence, but she put tap dance, and then I think some ghosts, and then the gun to the ghost. Now, I didn't mean like that type of Ghostbuster. The Ghostbuster where it has like the like Ghostbusters, like the movie, where it has the red circle and then a line through it. I don't promote violence. I try to stay away from violence. John Clearly. Okay, cool. I'll check it out. Laugh out loud. Amen. Thank you, John. No Man's Land. Hey, Sam, I just purchased a sleeping bag for like $43 at Target. 30 degrees. I'm going to need it tonight. Well, that's true. I'll let you know how it goes. Freezing in NYC. Amen. Yeah, definitely let me know how that goes. No Man's Land. It's going to be a huge adjustment for me to go back. And, yeah, let me know how that goes. And then if it goes good for you, like, you know what I mean? Tell me what, I'll take a look at Target. I mean, I got a lot of quilts. I bought, you know, No Man's Land. You know me. And John, check it out. A layer up. That's how I get through the cold nights. I mean, I'm in Florida right now, but when I go back to church, I layer the hell up. Watch that, you know. So to me, I won't do the sleeping bag. I'll just layer up like I'm living in the street, literally. And but I respect. But let me know how you make out, No Man's Land. It's Miss Kimberly. She gave I don't know what that is. That's like the eggplant and like 3 vans. If that's about your guy from Detroit, whatever his name is, God bless him. Linda, much love sent to all of you, have a great night. Linda, love and peace to you. God bless you, Linda. Good to see you again. Thank you for chopping in. And it's Miss Kimberly. Yeah, Nancy gave the ghost with the regular Ghostbusters. No gun violence. We don't want gun violence. John Clearly, do you have a video showing like top places to park or what to avoid? I have a couple about. One is when I first started, the cops came knocking at the door. I address a couple about where to go, but my top spots are basically, start off. If you wanted to do Walmart, start off. If you wanted to do a friend's or family member's driveway to start off for no more than 2 nights. Rest stops, truck stops, and that's it. And a rotation. Your main thing is you need to go wherever it's legal. I don't promote illegal parking. As much, come on, I don't know why it's perfect, but you have to just try to find a spot that's legal. Truck stop, Walmart, whatever, for 1 night. You have to know a couple places that are somewhat close to where you need to be for work or however you like to move. And then you have to keep a rotation. Example, like if you get into an area you like or your area for work, you can't go to the same spot necessarily every night. You have to alter. It's just like, they taught you, like, you can't move and target. Movement is your friend. Remember that movie, what was it, World Z with Brad Pitt? And like Armageddon had happened. He was actually in Newark. He was in the projects. And they were like, the zombies were coming after him. And he was trapped in an apartment. And he was telling his man, like, he was telling the guy who was trapped in an apartment what, he was like, I've been in a lot of dangerous places in life. And he said, you know what I've learned? Movement is life. And when you're a nomad, when you're living out of a caravan or RV, if you're not parked in a campground, if you're doing Walmarts or rest stops, you have to keep it moving and alternate those spots. You can't go to the same spot every night. It's not wisdom, in my experience. So that's my overall mindset behind it. I don't have one fixed answer, but that's kind of like how I approach it. Let me go back. I know I missed. Daniel. Hello, bro. Hello, Daniel. Love and respect to you. Thank you for checking in, Daniel. James. Options I have come across are staying with friends or family. That's a good one. Tent. Yep, you can be a tent camper and go to the thing. I agree with that. Storage unit. Now, I looked at storage units when I first started this game. You got to be careful with storage units. Now, technically, that is illegal. I understand none of us are angels, so I'm not going crazy. But I looked at that, but I think you're better off like you started off with. You're better off at a Walmart, friend's house, hotel if you wanted to one-off it. Concerning temporary car fix. Got you. Nothing wrong with car rentals. Oh, I'm sorry, you were talking about the other thing. Now those are all good options, James. You got it. I mean, those are all good options. He was saying like if my car broke down, different options. Or an example, if you lived out of your car and it broke down, what would you do? So he just gave a list of things. I agree with that. Those are good points. I agree, James. Oh, Metal Tails. Happy Christmas, Sammy and everyone. Love and respect. Metal Tails is a guitar player and a singer. Check her YouTube channel out. Good to see you, Metal Tails. Bless you. Metal Tails, did you do any new videos lately? Singing? I know she's relatively new to YouTube. Yeah, but that's some good feedback. I mean, everyone has their own way to move in life. So again, just always remember I'm only giving you my opinion and my perspective, but we're all a little bit different. There's no way around that. So, what works for me may not work for you, but you take little bits and pieces of people, and then you put your own twist on shit, and then that's how you figure out life, period. So it'll work out. But it's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Well, I'll tell you this. It was a blessing tonight, and I'm very thankful for everybody that commented. It was good to meet a couple new people. Love and respect to everybody. Peace. And again, Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. If you don't, then respect and love to you also. I'm just very thankful for all the positive people I've met. Continue to be yourself. Define your own life. And if you try something and you fail, just don't get down on yourself. And don't let anybody get down on you. That's the one thing I'm big on, man. If the biggest thing I will share with you is if you have unhealthy relationships, get rid of them. Friends, family members, or whoever. You're never going to be happy in this world in an unhealthy relationship. You could try to make it work. I've tried to make a few work with family members and friends. Doesn't work. I don't care if you live in a car or live in a mansion. Not going to work. And that's going to mess with your happiness more than anything else. I don't care if you save a lot of money per month. If you have people in your life that just don't support you and that just you got to tap dance for, or you got to walk on eggshells with, it's just never going to make you happy. You want to be around people that just you're free, and they, you kind of vibe and you kind of similar, and you embrace each other's differences. It's not like a tug of war game. I mean, I blocked quite a few people and I'm overall positive. But I mean, I got to be me. I mean, some people try to, get me the way they're thinking. I'm all right, I don't want to get into tangent. Thank you, everybody. I love you and appreciate you. John Cleary says hospital's a good spot as well. Merry Christmas. Yes, different areas to go, and thankful for our health. Thankful for another day. Love, peace, and blessings to you. Okay, guys? Be well.